The Brighton Belle was a grand old lady of the rails, famous for comfort. In 1953, the BBC filmed her journey from London Victoria. It would last about an hour, but the footage was sped up to create the illusion of London to Brighton in 4 minutes. The Belle was known for her famous passengers, but she too became a star of the screen. This film was often played between programmes on the BBC. In reality, the train could only travel at 80 miles an hour, not the 765 shown here, but she was special. In the decades dominated by steam, she was all electric. The Art Deco Pullman carriages offered luxury travel with a waiter service, as sampled by South Today's Bruce Parker.
Jolly good breakfast, and it's sheer luxury.
But quality like this came at a cost, and by 1970 there was trouble on the tracks when British Rail threatened to change the breakfast menu. They soon changed their minds after high-profile passengers complained, including Sir Laurence Olivier.
It's as important in its way as the Master Cutler in the north, as the Flying Scotsman, as the Le Trembleur in France, the Orient Express. And I'm very happy that the Brighton Belle will continue to be one of the fine trains of the world.
Can you tell me how you're enjoying your scrambled egg this morning?
I'm enjoying them very much, thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir Lance.
But for the supporters, there was bad news to come. In 1972, British Rail said she was being decommissioned. The Belle made her final journey on the 30th of April 1972. Don Hitchings was the driver that day.
I put all the champagne and stuff on it, and then we went into Victoria. And they had a big brass band waiting for us. The band struck up as we ran in. I mean, everybody had a smashing time.
This morning, Don watched as the Belle returned to Brighton by road. For the first time in 40 years, he could get on board.
I was a bit shocked when I got no rails out there. It's a bit scary. It was a little bit of a rough ride, but there's a little bit of prestige with it, obviously, and we used to enjoy it.
It was a different style of travelling. There was somewhere to hang your coat, there was room for your umbrella, and of course your bowler hat. And you had to have a seat if you wanted to get on board. You couldn't stand up. The final touch was waiter service, something that those famous passengers loved. How are you enjoying your breakfast this morning, Don?
Thank you very much, Danielle. Beautiful.
Soon the waiter service will be available to all. A charitable trust is restoring her. The Brighton Belle is coming back.
Anyone who you mention we're bringing back the Brighton Belle to, they just go dewy-eyed. I mean, it has the most fantastic history, and the feel of it was just from a different era, and that's what we want to bring back.
But it's a big job that will cost £2 million.
We're going to have to change the bogies, the motors, have very modern control systems and lots of clever electronics. It has to be able to run at 95 miles an hour. A lot of new safety devices to make it as safe as a brand new train.
The carriage will stay on the seafront this weekend, but will return to the workshop on Monday. The Belle should be back on Brighton's rails in 2 years and will run at weekends, reviving an era of elegance and style for the coast's commuters.